should instill pride of ownership. The creation of fine cameras, as with all precision instruments, depends on thorough scientific research and talent, and on skilled craftsmanship. In this modern plant at Ann Arbor, Michigan, scientists, designers, engineers, and craftsmen all team together to produce a line of cameras that, dollar for dollar, are superior to any made anywhere in the world. The three most important features of
Alright, just got this at an antique store maybe almost over a year ago, but just decided to make a video on it. This is the Argus C3 series, or Argus C series. It was American-made camera from Michigan. This one I got on the tag. It said 1930s, but I think this could also be from like the 40s. So it's in that time period. So I thought that was pretty cool. It does use 35mm film, so I managed to take a couple of black and white rolls. I have done a color roll of film with it, but I haven't had it developed yet. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick rundown of everything and show you the features it has. Alright, so for the top you have your film winding knob. Now, I don't have an experimental roll of film to show, but it took me a while to figure out how to open it. So you just have to press on this little metal thing and then it opens like that. Inside you can tell it's just like solid steel or whatever it is. Like you could see the more details on where it was made, which I thought that was cool. This is a little paper thing, but I just left it in there. So that the film goes from here and then spreads across. This, you have to do it by hand. So some film cameras that you usually will probably know is that you kind of have to have a lever and you wind it. But this you do it manually. So what you usually would do is that you just take it, you put it in, just fit it through the little slit right here like normally. But the interesting thing is that like every time you wind it, you have to tap on this, so then this moves, and then that basically has like a little switch where it makes the film slide, because without that being pushed it just kind of stays in place. So you do this and then you move this knob every time you want to take a picture, and how you do that is with this little lever. You just flip it up like that and it's loaded. I have had this go off on me while I'm not taking a picture, so I only have this loaded when I'm actually taking a picture, because over time this can just like fall down, and I have issues where this got stuck many times. I just kind of had to like force it down because I'm not really experienced enough to learn how to like fix it or whatever. And you just tap it down right here and that's your picture. The focusing on this is very interesting. Probably going to get into that later. But yeah, that's basically how you load the film and just the general film loading settings. Now in terms of actually taking a picture, now on this tiny little thing here you have the adjustment for whatever ISO that you want, which is kind of crazy to see. You kind of see like the shutter being moved like that. This is the shutter speed, which this dial is very weird to use. You kind of really just have to figure it out. If you're an experienced person who's done film cameras, it's not that hard, but still it's just a lot of just figuring out. This knob is very hard to move, so I just do it from here. Nice little gear system. That's your focusing. And let me show you how that is, because that's pretty interesting. So if you want to actually focus in and take a picture from this is a rangefinder camera, so most of those you'd have to like, there's like two images and you match it, because one is like kind of off center. So from here you got your random peephole, which you look into to take a picture, and yes, that is as dirty as it looks. Then you have this, so you have to look through not both at the same time, but one at a time. You kind of see the little lock on there, it's not matching. So what you do is you turn this until that matches. So it's going to be very hard to do it on camera. You can kind of see when I move this, it moves to the little top of there. This is a little bit of a better shot of the focusing. You can see the two pieces of glass right there, and if I had something like this ink thing, I'm just going to use as an example. If it's out here like this, you kind of see they're off center. And yeah, let's see that get back in focus. And then you'd focus it like this. So when I move it, the glass does kind of move. Now it's not really super easy to see, but you get the idea. This is what it kind of looks like when you're looking through, and you kind of just match it based off of that. It's kind of like a split image. So yeah, it's very hard to actually show how this works, but I hope I explained it in some way of understandable manner. Now you do have some settings, very little bit, but like you have normal, which I guess is I, stands for like initial, I have no idea. Then you have a B over there, stands for bulb, which is, if you don't know what bulb is, basically when you hold this down, the shutter stays open. And then when you let go, it just comes back in. Now this is kind of risky because this is like almost an 80-year-old camera or 70-year-old camera, so it does get stuck a lot, so I don't really use it that much, but I have no real reason to use it. But like, it's good when you have no idea what the exposure time is for anything, so you just want to like have a longer exposure to get more light in. But yeah, this is the ISO settings, or the ASA. This is the older standard, but like only goes up to 200 speed, which is kind of interesting. So if you had a 400 speed film camera, I don't know if it will work, so I usually just buy the 200 speed one. I just prefer that one anyway, just my personal preference. But yeah, this is basically the whole camera. Now I'm gonna show you some pictures of what I got with it right now,
whose mechanism is contained within the camera body itself. This behind the lens shutter, like a fine watch, typifies the highest degree of performance, accuracy, and dependability. The precision which has been built into this shutter is the finest that machining skill can produce. The metal of which the parts are made must pass many tests for hardness, springiness, and other necessary qualities.
Anyone who's already into film cameras and wants a challenge, I definitely would recommend getting an older camera like this. This one specifically, the Argus series, is a good place to start because they have, you know, it uses a 35mm film. You don't need to use any adapters or anything, and it's relatively simple to use. You don't need any extra stuff. Really teaches you how to like really take a picture. Like, it's a huge process to take a picture of these, but when you do it, it's like super worth it. It literally looks like you're taking pictures from like the 1930s or 40s, which is really cool, and it's definitely worth the effort. I definitely have a lot of failed pictures, so I guess one thing is that there is no warning when you're, you know, taking pictures. Sometimes you might overlap a picture because you forget to move this after you take another picture. So definitely had a lot of those. You have to make sure you turn this the right amount, which is like a quarter or something, to make sure that you don't have any pictures overlap. Beside that, it's a really good camera. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. If you had any experience with these older cameras or any questions, let me know. That'll be it, and thank you for watching.